Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Jackson looking to throw right away. And incomplete to open things up.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Jackson. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. On 3rd and short, Drake. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything. And a big loss here as he's taken down. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Come up 1st and 10. 30-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught out right by Renfro. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. The Raiders had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Carr now on first down. Flush to his right. Open man, that's Renfro. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I think it's easy saying how many people expected 100 catches or 1,000 yards out of Hunter Renfro last season. But it's time to set those low expectations aside. He's one of the breakout players at receiver in the NFL and one of the better players at his position. Picks up a first down there for him on that play.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
You're mine.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
They go play action with Jackson. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Pulled in at the 24. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard move, 8-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. The last series form a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A car fighting his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Adams, the man in motion left. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing now is Carr. Trying to get it to Adams. throws, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cardinals are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of it.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Jackson's throw complete to McBride. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. But he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catches, hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cards are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Boy, the coverage there, airtight as he comes away with the interception.
Love that observation there because they were taking a shot at the end zone, but you're right about the coverage. Absolutely tremendous. And this they could clip for a training tape. Staying with him down the field, locates the football in the air, and comes away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Jackson. And the Raiders have got him. Denzel Perryman with a sack. Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
93. 637.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. And he can't escape, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr going to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marco Wilson. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. This is taken in by McBride. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
McBride was a standard in the 2022 draft for tight ends. The Mackey Award winner is the best tight end in college. He was the first one off the board when Arizona tabbed him as their future starter in the position. He'll get to learn from one of the best with the Cardinals, Zach Ertz. It appears he already is picking up that 1st down.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
At the 15-yard line.
Play action. It's Jackson. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Cardinals go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point good by Prater, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throw left side, taken in by Renfro.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Carr now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr. Touchdown Raiders. A.J. Green as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They gave it a shot with the deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. This one caught by Isabella. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
From the 29, Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. At the 39.
This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here.
Now Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Carr.
The slant connects with Devontae Adams. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Zaven Collins
came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Trucks over him, and they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 22-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr.
Pass thrown to Adams. He's got it on the crossing route. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now Carr. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Raiders are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 14. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand-new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this 2nd half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, When you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Now a throw here to his running back. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
You see him?
To throw is Jackson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Raiders' 30-yard line.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Jackson now. That's complete once again to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
A gain of 7. 1st down, Arizona.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, Drake. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson. It's complete to Drake. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Drake. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kenyon Drake, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cardinals answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th.
Raiders 14.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw him through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Slant to Adams. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
First down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
This offense on third down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Carr. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
93. Express. 637.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Raiders trying on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr on the slant, completes a Green. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
93.
On first down, Carr. Aiming for Jacobs. He's got him, reeling it in on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On second down, Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Raider 1. You're mine.
Carr now to throw. Green with a catch left side. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
29. 29.
Carr. And it's complete to Adams. 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Devontae Adams, 55 yards. And the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Important extra point up and through, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
Fair catch made on the 25-yard line. The Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Jackson. And this goes out wide for Drake.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Throwing, Jackson.
And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Jackson to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth.
Here's Jackson. Out left to Anderson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Complete to Bobby Anderson. A gain of 15.
Jackson.
Touchdown, Arizona.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This defense not going to lag back. They come with pressure that time, force him out of the pocket, and the incompletion.
And so many times when you're watching a game, you're seeing the offense doing all the dictating. In this case, the defense said, we're dictating the terms, and turned it loose towards it.
Prater's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
94.
Carr to throw.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for Arizona, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.
You see, it's two type of people in life. It's people that wake up and wish they had it. And it's people that wake up and go get it. We go get it, baby. Photo pour so photo get. All I know is to go get it. Shoot my shot, now I ain't gon' miss it. All I know is to go get it. All my life I've been a go-getter. All I know is to go get it. Wake up in the morning, kiss my